moments presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Today, we have none other than Dee Brown, who was the star of that 2005 Illinois team that made it all the way to the national title game.
You guys were uber successful. 30-win seasons, all of these things that came and put together this team. There was a time as you guys are going through this fight. Let's go to the Arizona game. Because I'm gonna tell you, I was sitting up watching that game at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm yelling and screaming, and my wife is like, "Dude, you do realize it's 5 o'clock in the morning?" Because we were overseas. And I'm like, it ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to bed. She's like, but they're losing. I'm going to bed. I'm like, go to bed. I'm not going to bed. I was like, because something special about to happen. Let's start in the beginning. You guys jump out. The game is going. They step out. They start to expand. And this is going to go back to what you said. How was the team feeling? What was the demeanor of the team? And I had an idea of what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask it anyway. When you guys got down, what was the thought process?
Man, it was about two dudes. Darren won one of them. I remember Darren the trip. But it was probably two people in the huddle that was still confident that we can overcome that. And I say that because we practice those type of situations. And Darren, you down 15. Darren, you down 12. We'll play a 4-minute battle in practice. So we was going over late game situations from the jump. We was doing stuff like that. But when we came back to that huddle, I remember Lou was battling injuries. This is what dealing with adversity looks like. Luther battling injuries. We got Brian Roundabout with a broke hand. We got other guys who. So when we got into those situations, we went back to what we practiced. And if you watch that game back, I'm gonna give some insight for a lot of people who watched that game. Everything had to go right for us to be successful that game. The plays, Jack had to screen. Raj had to set screens. Lou had to make shots. Darren had to be Darren. Defensively, I had to crank up the pressure on the ball. Everybody played a role in that comeback. But when I tell you we prepare for that, we prepare for that. And when you come out and you execute how you're supposed to execute, which great teams do, it looks like how it's supposed to look. Let's get stops. Let's execute the offense and get the right shots. If we put up the right shots, let's attack the offensive glass. Let's buckle down on defense. I just think everything went how it's supposed to went because we executed and we stayed together. And guys was confident. Like we knew, if y'all look at it, man, I'm player of the year. Everything went through Luther head. That's our best player. Let's be honest, man. Get dude the basketball. Run him off screens. Allow him to make shots. Let Darren get in the pick and roll. Allow guys to be good at what they do. And when you look at coaching, you look at what coaching is built on, it's putting your guys in the best position to be successful. And that's what he did. AD, crank up the ball pressure. You're not pressuring the ball hard enough. Come on. Coach will talk to you so disrespectful. You're like, oh, I got you. You know what I mean? So everything clicked that to the point where you look at every possession, everybody did something to contribute to winning. And that's all you can really ask for. And then that was the loudest venue. If people ever been to a sporting event, that's a top 5 event of all time. Mm-hmm. If you ever been to an event, I mean, we had celebrities there. The building was rocking. It was electric, man. It was something. It was so special to do that against a really good team, a really, really good team who really pushed us. But we didn't sink down to the level of our preparation. We prepared at a high level, and we were very confident. But it was a we thing, our whole get up in my 4 years was about we. It was never about no one person. And if you ever look back at how we spoke, Darren, Lou probably had issues sometimes, but they never had no issues with me. We never had no issues. Those guys knew they was the real deal. They knew that without them, it was no problem. And Bruce Weber made that public in the media. If you ask Coach Weber, who would you rather lose, Darren or Dee Brown? Man, I can't lose Darren. You think that hurt my feelings? No, I wouldn't want to lose that dude either. We just lost him the year before with a broke jaw. You see how that ended? We understood each piece makes the puzzle.
Yes.
Without James, we can't win that championship.
No, and you're right there, bro. And that's a positive way to look at it. So you guys go into that game, you're the favorite.
Yep.
They jump out, and you mentioned Arizona was a damn good team.
Really good.
And they had some dudes on there. So this ain't some dudes from from the suburbs or something. They had some dudes on there.
Absolutely. And it was coached by Hall of Fame guys.
Exactly.
The coaching was impeccable.
Exactly. So I'm sure there was a bunch of trash talk going on out there.
Super trash talker. Son Adams, Shannon Fry, them guys know what's up. They was looking at us like y'all ain't better than us. They was talking so greasy. That's why I say you get to that point when you in the 8.
Yeah.
Man, Illinois, y'all okay? That's they was talking like y'all okay. You know, it was funny, but it was competitive. That's how it's supposed to be.
No, that's always the beauty of the game. That's the part that I think the casual fan doesn't get. And hold on, take that back. I think that's the part that the referees don't even get is the feel that guys have when they're out there playing. It's about those competitive juices. It's about, getting in there, being a little grimy when necessary. So you guys, they out there chirping and chirping.
I got one for you, D. I got one for you. I know you about to go to. It was 77-63. Roger go up and dude go up and block his shot with 2 hands. The energy in the building goes if you watch the game back, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. It was set. He made and then we fouled him and he went to the free throw line. It was a freshman. Okay, I forgot his name, but the energy in the building went down. Deon, we got in the huddle and we looked around. Coach always keeps plays. Like I'm talking about, like he walk around like notebooks like this. Call a play for Lou. I come over, we run an elevator play. Lou hit a 3. But before that play, I thought people thought it was over at 77-63.
Oh no, a lot of people thought it was. I told you my wife went to bed and was yelling at me because I was in there making too much noise. So
everybody can tell you where they were the Arizona game. And that means a lot to me because it was a sporting event. It wasn't a tragic it wasn't 9/11, God bless America. It was a sporting event where you were the Arizona game. And when I was doing public speaking, people would tell me where they were and tell me stories. And that made me feel so good because that game is so historic and it puts us back in the Final Four in Chicago and down 15 with 3:57. Like people don't win those type of games on that type of level. So when people talk about that game, I got 90, 80, I got so many different stories, but to your point, man, that was a hard fought game in Chicago to put us in the Final Four where without every guy, man, I always say my MVP of that game was Jack Ingram, man, one of the guys who always set screens, who always did everything right. He did anything to impact winning. And the way he spoke to me and Darren to use his screens, the way he talked to Luther about how passionate he was about getting guys open.
Right.
That's how you win basketball games when a guy's just selfless like that.
Before we continue that interview, I have to let you guys know that it's that time of year again. We waited 2 years for this moment, and it's finally here. March's biggest tournament is back. Gonzaga is getting ready to run the table. Slippers are being fit as we speak, and our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook, are putting our listeners at the center of the action. How? If you bet $4 on an underdog in a select game this week, and that underdog wins, you win $256. That's right, $256. Here's how it works. Download the app now and use the promo code FIELD68 when you sign up. Scroll through the list of select underdogs, bet $4 on them to win, and cash $256 when they do. There's no better way for you to put your college hoops knowledge to use than to put your money where your mouth is with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's safe, it's secure, it's reliable, and you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. So remember, the code is FIELD68. That's FIELD68 to turn $4 into $256. For a limited time only, must be 21 years or older. Restrictions apply. Go to DraftKings.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Let me ask you this question, Dee. And this is just to give a little bit of insight. Again, you don't need to, because I know there's some stories, there's locker room stories you don't want to let out. Mm-hmm. You go in at halftime.
Yeah.
Things are going the way they're going. Give me some. What did you say? Because I know you fiery. You got a lot of fire. When you went in that locker room, what were you like? Man, y'all need to get it to me.
Man, we was too comfortable. We thought it was going to not just be handed to us, but like I told you, we had Bill Murray in the locker room, man. It was just too, hey man, let's get back to this gritty hunger. Like let's get back to what we do, and we was a little tight, man. The building was electric. I told you, if you wasn't there, man. Oh man, it was so electric that man, it's just something you just can't forget. And people who was there when they explained it to you, I felt the same thing. But we had to come out and get back to just this. This is going to be a real live fight. This is going to be something that we got to dig deep. This team is for real. I'm telling you, they was talking so greasy, Deon. It was crazy, man. They were so confident and so talented that we had to come out of there and really buckle down and get back to what we do. And people look at us and say, "Oh, you couldn't win with shooting all the threes," and we really guarded and defended at a high level. And
Right.
we weren't making shots. We didn't allow that to affect our defense. So we never got enough credit for that. Like, we didn't care if we was missing shots. We're going to miss shots. But we was a team that was going to blow you out if we missing shots. I mean, we making shots. So it didn't. I just think on the other side of the basketball, we had to make a stance because the way they was going to score 100 on us. You know, they was that talented. They was that good. And so I just think we had to really buckle down and start executing and defending. And I think that's what got us back, you know, in the game is just buckling down, defending,
Right.
and executing on in.
No, I can feel you on that because, you know, as they say, offense wins games, defense wins championships. So you guys would come out of the locker room, you come up off the bench, you like, okay, it's time to lock these dudes down. What was their faces like when they, you know, and because I tell people this all the time, and my high school coach, Bob Hambrick, he would always say, we play the game to the buzzer sounds. And it's all about what we do. I don't care what nobody else is doing. If we beat them by 100 points, we beat them by 100 points because it was really making sure that we execute on what we do. So I say that to preface this. When you guys come out, you're starting to turn it up. And you guys put the foot on the gas. And you kept the foot on the gas. And that was one of the things I liked about this team. But most people crack when you start to punch them in the mouth. How was that Arizona team reacting when y'all start throwing them haymakers and you start getting back in here? What were those faces like then, seeing they were doing all that chirping before?
Resilience. I mean, I can take you back to the year before we played against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was kicking out our sign. They was trying to outpunk us and do all that. We just bonded together. We had 5 NBA guys on the court. They had NBA guys too, but we went to our 2 first rounders, and we put our faith in our best players. And our best players, I keep trying to tell y'all this, like, everybody got a piece and they have a role to do on a winning basketball team. I had my role. I was very comfortable. If everybody talk about you from that team, they tell you I was the guy to the public and all that. That was cool. I did my role and I did it to a high level. But we put the basketball in Darren Williams' hand, and we allow guys like him and Luther to take over the game. And another glue guy, I gotta keep talking about my man Roger Powell, who did everything you needed him to do to win games.
Yep.
He'd take a charge, he'd rebound the ball, you know, he do whatever it is needed, he'd do it silently. And I just think we came out and due to how the game was going, we put the basketball in our best players' hands. And on the other end, we did what we supposed to do as far as with locking up, because it was hard to stop those guys. Shannon was stepping out, shooting threes, and Son was getting on the offensive glass, and you know. And you said at the start of this conversation, you got to win your matchup. I wasn't winning my matchup off back. The young fella was getting after me. I was turning the basketball over. He was outplaying me on the other end. So I had to make some decisions. I had to buckle up and do what I had to do to win my matchup.
Well, and you did that, man. That's one of the greatest games I've ever watched. And of course, I'm biased because I appreciate that you guys were able to come back and get that win.
No, for what it was a ticket to the Final Four. If it was a first round game, them normal. Yeah. But to go to the 4, man, you ain't down 72-57 with 3 minutes to go or 3:57 to go with they got 3 NBA guys over there. And you talking about you about to come back and win. That ain't about to happen.
Right.
Everything got to go as high as supposed to go as planned. And again, 2-3 guys in that huddle was confident that we can do it. And for us to win in Chicago in front of our home fans, that was special and historic, man. It was something I'll never forget. And man, and with today's social media and how they videotape and everything, that would have been way blown up if it would happen in today's day.
It would. That'd have been one of those million hits. What my daughter called it when they go viral. That would have gone viral big time, no doubt.
Yep.
Hey, so you get through them, get to the Final Four.
Yep.
Unfortunately, get to that North Carolina game, which was another game I was bitching and moaning about while I was sitting there watching it, because I just thought they let Sean May. That was, I'm not gonna get into it because I get upset. I still get upset about it.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there, I was hot. I'm like, come on,
Man.
man, you gotta call this thing right, you know.
Yep.
But you get to the championship game again. You guys are all legends off of that team, and as you mentioned, even the guys that, you know, Ingrams and you know, the guys that didn't seem like they were big parts of everything were huge parts, because you guys were a beautiful puzzle, a collective that came together to make a beautiful picture, man.